Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome. Holy shit.
Thank you.
Our neighborhood cat literally just jumped up on the roof. Sorry.
No,
Already distracted.
It's all right. That timing was perfect, by the way.
It was literally right. Wow.
Yeah. As you're introducing us, you were just
Yeah.
That was our first improv cameo. That was pretty great.
Yeah, I wish you guys could have seen that. My cat's all freaking out in his little kitty condo outside. Anyway,
so you have a
good to see you guys.
You have a community cat? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So we call her Penelope. It's one of our neighbor's cats, but she is super friendly. Like we'll let her in. She'll play with Leoben. She climbs up on his kitty condo outside. Apparently, she now jumps on the roof of our house.
Wow.
She's very friendly.
That sounds like it.
Very cute. She's like a beautiful calico cat, and I love her. And I would adopt her in a second if it wouldn't break our neighborhood's kids' hearts. So I'm not in the game to do that right now.
How old are they?
One's a teenager and one's like 5 or 6.
I was gonna say
I wouldn't mind like breaking her heart. Like you're gonna have your heart broken a lot.
That's true. I was gonna say if they were either really young, like so they wouldn't really remember them, or the trauma might, but they wouldn't remember you, or like late teens. So you're kind of stuck in an awkward. So you probably made the right call there. Not abducting the cat.
No, not yet. Anyway,
but we should do this evaluation for any other future animals that you
Oh yeah, for sure.
Forcefully take into your home. I think, yeah.
But we had a cat.
Yeah, that's how I got Murdoch in college. He just showed up on my porch, and I was like, "Dad, can I keep him?" And Dad said, "If he shows up every day this week, yes."
Wow, what he did?
That cat. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow.
It was great.
I didn't know
I got Dr. Cats in Florida.
Yeah.
But we had a cat named Stickers. Why was he called Stickers, you ask? Because when I was young, I said he's got stickers in his hands.
Oh my God.
That's adorable.
That's
adorable.
It's great, Ties.
Anyway, he was kind of one of those cats that was a neighborhood cat.
Yeah.
And he got fed at 3 different houses every night.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's the life. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's pretty good. And then you got someplace to go just in case, kind of thing.
Yeah. You have a plan B, C, D, and E. I like it. Yeah.
He was a tough motherfucker. He used to come home.
You have to be.
Gouges out of his head.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, so guess what just happened to me?
What?
So I went out to eat some lunch, and I came back, and I get a call from my wife who's out of town, and she, your dad says that there's a tornado warning. You're in a tornado warning, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's. But I thought watch instead of warning. There's 2 different things, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, Beth's gone. I've got 2 giant puppies and a regular dog that hates to go downstairs. And so they're like, tornado coming, and like she's worried. And so I get everybody downstairs. It's just chaos. Like they've never been downstairs before. And they're like, what is this place? One of them, I don't know, is chewing on a drum set. Guitars got knocked over. There's damage everywhere. And my stupid TV downstairs, the antenna doesn't work because it's in the basement. So I was trying to navigate all this stuff, and it was really funny. But anyway, a tornado. There were 2 that they saw, I think, and one went over the sports complex.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and. So that was really exciting, and I'm really tired. And so part of the reason I'm not very prepared for this week is because I was dealing with that. So it's 3:12 in what we in our parlance Tyson time, which is Central Standard Time.
Yes.
And
we've lobbied for the change, so
that we have.
And so anyway, it's 3:13. This all started at 2 Tyson time. So I barely got up here. I took all the stuff downstairs to podcast downstairs if I had to, like the app and my iPad and the stuff. And I was like, oh, this is going to be really interesting to podcast with 2 puppies running around like crazy people. But
I love it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to cancel it, but I was just like, I'm gonna
No,
have to
I
figure
mean,
this
you
out.
gave us. We usually talk for a few minutes inside baseball before the show, and you just played it cool. I had no idea you'd had such a perplexing hour prior to showtime. So, just consummate professional. That's all.
That's right. That's exactly why I still have a job. And so anyway, the radio. And so anyway, show. Anyway, I'm ill prepared, but it was exciting, I guess. But it would have been
Yeah.
a lot easier if Beth had been here. And of course, she's
Now,
calling like every 5 minutes. What's going on? What's going on?
now, did it
She's
like
storm chasing
Oh
me
destroy
yeah.
apart.
the? Did it destroy the sports complex?
I don't
Or
know. I didn't
I don't
see
know
any
yet.
eyes on the ground. They're trying to move that, right? No one. So I don't know if you know the local drama, but basically, like they've said that they'll move to Kansas. They'll move the baseball stadium
They did
downtown,
say that.
and they
Okay.
said that they would move the stadium over to probably like where the Legends are, which is just
Okay.
outside of Kansas City.
Okay.
And so Kansas was like, yes, because they're both in Missouri right now. And then
Right.
so Kansas was like, here's some star bonds. You can have them up until this point, and then and then Missouri like derailed itself, and they're in a special session right now, which Matt knows what that means. Which is basically they're done, but they came back because they didn't talk about the stadiums, and now they're derailing it because some Republicans are like, well, the Royals tweeted out, you know, congratulations and Pride Month, and the Royals fans are for everyone with a rainbow flag, and he's like, that's not right, and so they can't do anything, right? I mean, they can't, so they're gonna lose both teams, and then they will be Kansas City, Kansas teams.
Wow, I had
Pretty,
not been following any of this. This is
Yeah.
yeah.
fascinating.
This is new info.
Yeah, so it's this whole deal. They voted on it. There was a vote, a general vote for this in the last election or two elections ago, maybe, where because they do them every year, where they were like, "Will you guys pay an extra bunch of taxes for this?" And everybody went, "No." so, and so they were like, "Fuck, that didn't work. That usually works." And and so then they've been scrambling to find a location. There's two main locations for the and one might be. Do you remember? I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a place called. It used to be called Sprint Center. That's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So they're talking about because that place has been losing money since the day it opened, and it just sucks. And it was obsolete the day it opened. Right now, and that was where my last office was locally, and it's a shit show. You can't open the windows. They're actually putting in elder care there, which is like that's you when they're installing elder care into office space. That's it. They don't know what they can't get it. They can't get anybody to use it. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, they're talking about buying that whole block and just knocking it down and putting both stadiums there, and then
Wow.
which would be great for me because that's like 15 minutes from here, and I wouldn't have to drive to effing Missouri to go see a Royals game. Unfortunately, all of Johnson County is about 15 minutes from there too, and so it would, we'd all be in the same boat. But anyway,
So how would that, like, logistically, how would that work if they became, moved to Kansas? Like, but they're like, I mean, it takes a long time to build a stadium and
it
like
does,
all
but
the infrastructure and
they,
like,
they
how does that work?
well, the infrastructure is kind of already there because they have all this infrastructure there with these buildings. So the piping, everything's there. They just build on top.
Yeah.
They just knock all that
Okay.
down and build on top of it. They also want to put it downtown, like where they, like a lot of big cities do that. That is
Yeah.
way logistically way more
I
difficult.
was gonna say there's no way that can happen,
Well,
right?
they've got places, they've been looking at downtown. They've also there's a place they built a soccer stadium for the women's team
Okay.
here, and which is really cool. And that's like just north of the river, just north of downtown. So they were looking at that
Okay.
area. But essentially, both Chief Stadium and Royal Stadium is just shit. It's
Yeah.
30, 40 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not nice. I mean, it's fine. I mean, Chiefs fans are hardy
It's actually
bastards.
50 years old because my father for their, I think, their honeymoon, they went to the new Chief Stadium for their honeymoon. So that was,
Your mother's very understanding woman.
I she very, very
Yeah.
much
That does
was.
not sound like a good honeymoon.
Very much. Well, it was a big deal. I'm not defending my father's actions on this honeymoon. I'm not even going to start.
Did
But
they did they win? Did they win at least?
I no, oh no, they didn't. No, no. They didn't see a game. They just went to the stadium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was like brand new. Yeah, there was no game involved. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I stand by my previous statement then.
Actually, that's fair. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, so this whole thing's going down. But basically, after this special session happens and they don't get shit done, then basically like because it's typical Republicans, they can't agree, blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
and so like basically, but they're the majority, super majority, we might as well say, and so like they can't agree, and so basically, as soon as they fail, those are going to be Kansas teams. So and there's a lot of people that are upset about it, and a lot of people like me, they're like, finally.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they called it special sessions a kind of a big deal. I
It
mean,
is.
that's like, I mean, these people do not like to work. I mean, they really don't like to work. And so like for them to go back in, like that's hilarious though, that like they're the homophobia will ultimately cause the both those teams
Of course.
to come to Kansas is just
a week before they hadn't addressed this issue in Missouri. This is more for Matt than anybody else because we've worked with legislatures a lot.
Nationwide.
A guy. So the governor met with some people and they're like, okay, we're going to put together some tax, blah, blah, blah. And they introduced the bill, or they wrote the bill and they put it in. And in the last day of session, they refused to bring it to the floor. Whoever was running the session, the chair.
Oh.
And so then it's like, now they're back and they're flooding it with every kind of other bill. So they're just trying to make it like completely like one of the things they did last year is they put the vote whether abortion should be legal in Missouri. Overwhelmingly won. Now they're trying to get in law that says that people can't vote on the Constitution anymore, And so it's like, and that's become a big, huge part of it too. And so like, they're just going to fail. I mean, you can run a special session for as long as you want, but like Matt said, those people don't like.
Oh, they hate it. They hate it. Like, because it's their summer too, right? Like, like this is why they do this is because So, wow, that's I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that because that's I mean, that's as fascinating as state legislation gets right there. So,
you're right about that.
Like, if anybody, if it's to get people to understand that there are state legislatures, because like the majority of people don't understand that, which is a frightening fact for you all. But yeah, more than half of Americans don't know what a state legislature is. Yeah, that's great stuff. So we'll keep an eye.
They hear things like, "Oh, Republican, so and so," and they think, senator from or so and so, and they just assume that they're the big one.
Yeah.
They're the top one, and they don't realize that they're just some peon, like like owns like 3 car washes and got elected somehow, and like that's basically like people just don't understand how that works. So it's quite scary.
You think he's joking about the car washes? That's exactly the kind of like daytime, like that's like what most of these people do. They run like small businesses. Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
And they're pro business. They're not exceptional people by any stretch.
Oh God, no. They were just the smartest amongst their friends.
Basically, that is correct. Yeah.
Oh, it's like everybody I graduated with from Hayside.
There you go.
Sorry, not everyone. Whoops.
It's
like half of our demographic.
I wanted to say
shut up.
One more thing about and then I'll shut up for a while.
No, that's a good story.
Last week, you guys asked me, or last time we got together, you asked me about the sheriff situation in Joaquin.
Oh, yes.
Yes, update.
So I don't really have an update for it, but what I thought was pretty interesting was I went and I read that article on the Hayes Post, and it's petty student council bullshit, just like all of it, all just nonsense, except I recognize some of the names, right? And I mentioned last time that I hope I'm correct about this. I think I am. But I said that Joaquin has a long line of crooked sheriffs. And I noticed that one of the sheriffs that got busted by the KBI is now on the the city council.
Oh, wow.
So that tells you about the kind of people that want to do this work. They're like, "Oh, well, I know I got busted, but I feel the importance of being in charge of whatever, And so it's ridiculous. But anyway,
that's funny.
That's a Jabberjaw follow-up. Pow!
Like that.
Yeah. Need to get a whip cracking sound effect.
I'm going to get a soundboard. I'm going to do it. Okay.
Come on. All of you guys should have soundboards. It'll be fun.
It would be nice if we could turn that on for, because the person that hosts it now actually has the soundboard, but like Matt and I can't make our own, so we have to call Dawson and be like, "Would you please put this sound effect?"
You
You know,
guys can host. I mean, we
fart
can figure
noise,
that
fart
out.
noise. Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, we could initiate the host.
I love how both of your faces drop.
Well, no, no. We could
Just
initiate.
a little bit.
We could initiate the host, and then Dawson would still be the host. We could initiate the call, right?
That's
And
right.
then
Yeah.
Dawson, because I don't want to do that much work. I'm state legislature. You're like national legislature, basically.
I think it would be fun to round robin producer roles every other week.
Actually, it would be kind of fun. I have lots of ideas for soundboard stuff, and I just don't bother you with.
Yeah, you can take my shit off and put your own in.
No, oh wait, I just add to yours. So that we could just
Well, that's an offline topic. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've got
okay.
like an 8 sound bite maximum here
Oh,
on Zencaster.
Oh,
okay. Well,
Little insider baseball for everyone.
they charge
Yeah,
us
it's
enough.
great.
You'd think we'd have fucking 1,000
That's what I'm
slots.
saying.
The cost of actually maintaining this podcast way exceeded what I ever thought it would be because
Same.
we have so much content. It has to be stored somewhere.
Yes, it does.
So-
So a nice fuck you to Podomatic and Zencaster. We love you though. Still, don't kick us off.
don't kick us off.
You-
We need you
How are you guys doing? Sorry, I'm done for a minute.
for a minute.
But I am drinking a beer because I've had a weird hour.
It has been
you
a
have
weird
had a
hour
weird
for you.
hour. That's like a kind of a fan. What is that? A Ligon cool? What is that?
It's
A
a
The toga?
Nicaraguan cerveza. It's called Tonya.
oh.
How is it? Is
It's
that like a lager?
it's like a lager. It's a lot. It's like a little darker kind of Modelo.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's quite good. I'd never seen it before, and we went out to have lunch at this place that makes its own beer and then pairs it with chicken wings, which is like sounds amazing.
Oh my god, that's like right up your alley.
So
it really
anyway,
is.
Like plucked literally from one of your dreams.
so we had a beer flight there. They have 19 beers or something like that. So we had a beer flight.
Fuck yeah.
And anyway, I was on the way back, and then I was like, you know what? I think I want a beer when I get home. And she's like, that's weird, but I was like, okay. So I just went in and bought that, and I'd never heard of it. And I was like, is this any good? She's like, I never had it, but we've only had it a month, and it sells out every time we get it in. So I was like, that's probably a good sign. So
Yeah. Hell yeah.
anyway, I'll be.
I have one question about that place. How are the wings? You are a wing connoisseur.
Yeah.
Well, T and I have different ideas about what makes a wing a good wing. I will say that it is unlike any wing I've ever had. So it's a full wing, right? It's like
Is it?
the flat and the leg, and then or the drum in the business as we call it, the drum and the flat. And so anyway, but
Wing talk.
he has a lot of different sauces that he's come up with,
Okay.
and probably the best one is something called a red sauce. I think that's what it was, and it's not like a traditional one, but it's still pretty good. They come unsauced, and then you get sauces with them. And the
Okay.
guy was just so nice, and obviously he doesn't need the money, so he just brought us all kinds of. He brought us like every one of the sauces to try just for free, So,
That's so nice.
yeah, it was really nice. And anyway, what they do with their wings is they lightly fry them, then they freeze them, and then they baste them, and then they fry them again, and then they don't sauce them. You sauce them yourself at the table.
Oh.
So you get a different kind of texture. It's a little dry compared to most wings because
That's what I was wondering.
they
Okay.
freeze them for a little bit.
Yeah.
But really, like some people really really like them, and I can see the appeal. My biggest problem with him, and I was telling Beth that because I'm every place I go now I was like I could work here, like anyway. And so I was like this would be a good job to have, and then I remembered how much fucking work Taco Shop was, and I was like nope. But I was like, I was like, but the thing is, it is as far as I'm concerned an absolute no to not base your wing sauce on Frank's Red Hot, and he does not. So
Oh.
there's two schools of thought on it. The original buffalo wings based on Frank's Red Hots. Uh, if you go, I lived in Michigan for a little while, as you guys might recall, and they every restaurant you can ask for a bottle of Red Hots. I was in heaven. It was great. They have one for every table. That's it, but they just don't put them out everywhere. It's amazing. So
That's
anyway,
pretty badass.
so I was like, I would probably have to I would probably get into an argument with them at one point about.
Yeah.
He's like, well, people don't even really like the traditional wing sauce as much as they like the other sauces. I'm like, no shit. I'm in my head, like I'm like, there's a reason. And then there's also an argument about how much vinegar you should put in, or if you should use vinegar at all, because the original recipe is just butter and Frank's Red Hot, and then how diluted the Red Hot is how spicy the buffalo sauce is.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Right. So I used to just half a stick of butter, pour in Red Hot, put it in the microwave, melt it down, and that's how I made my own wing sauce. That's how I used to do it. But I do like vinegar and in some buffalo sauces as well. So it's just there was this place called the Anchor Club, I think. No, I don't know. Anyway, there was one in Lawrence that was heavy on the vinegar, but I got used to it because they were cheap.
I choked him down anyway. It was all right.
Well, then I got a taste for him because I was like, I get it. Okay, it's fine. I get it.
Wait, so do you want to plug this wing place in Kansas City, or
it's called Strips? There's a couple
Strips?
of them.
Okay.
But this one is over on Santa Fe Avenue, and it's the only one that has its own beers made specifically for them to pair with the wings, and the beers were all pretty good. I mean, some of them were kind of plain, but a lot of them were quite good. So,
did they have lady dancers on poles late at night? In addition to these,
they did not.
Okay.
But yeah, it was no.
Not very.
They had really nice bathrooms.
No naked ladies. No naked ladies. No chicken
Okay.
strips.
Well, I like to
wings.
ask.
Just naked wings. No bread.
Okay.
Naked
wings.
Okay. Right.
Nice. Okay. Keeping it classy.
That's right.
Thanks, guys. Great.
Tits and wings. No, different place. Different place.
It sounds familiar. Who is that? We'll never think of it. Smith, what have you been up to?
It's actually been a pretty calm last couple of weeks. We haven't done a whole lot. We ran down to Brown County last weekend, let the dog play around. It's mostly entertaining Howie. Howie is in the thralls of a calendar competition.
I saw and donated.
Thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate it. And
oh my god, so cute! That picture is awesome.
You have to send me a link.
He's in a calendar competition where you too. I don't have a way of sharing this. I don't have like a.
That's because you're not on the face place, but I can share it.
Facebook.
Are you cool if I share it with our fans?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can vote for our Howie. We do think he's the cutest. But, we're biased. It's for a good cause. Basically, I think it's like a $1 a vote, and it goes to a nice organization called Love of Labs, where we got Howie from. It's where Howie came from. It's when we have to have that talk with Howie. We'll be like, you came from Love of Labs. Here's their Facebook page. We're going to break the news to him. Of course.
Take him to a park.
We'll take him to Yes. That's exactly right. I
don't know if you know this, Matt, but a lot of places, ice cream places, Dairy Queen, Andy's frozen yogurt, all you got to do is ask for a pup cup, and they'll give you
So yes, we've gotten many a pup cup. I believe we've gotten them from McDonald's. They vary depending on which location you're at. Sonic.
What is a pup cup? Is it just like a cup of whipped cream, basically?
No,
or is it more?
It's ice cream.
It is ice cream? Okay.
Sometimes it comes in a cone.
At McDonald's, it was
really
whipped cream. Yeah.
Okay.
But they do vary by location, and I'm sure most places will just make something up if they don't have a legit pup cup. They're just like, I'll throw something into a cup of dog will eat.
Yeah. One time we were driving home we were driving home from Breeding Melly, and we pulled up to a Wendy's, and she just stuck her big adorable head out the window, and this woman working in the window was like, oh my god, it's so cute, can I give her a 4-piece nugget? And her shift manager was like, yeah.
Oh my god.
So she fed him the 4-piece nugget, and she watched as we fed her, and it was sucking. Anyway.
The funny thing about that employee is she does that for 1 in 7 cars. So
yes.
That's
look at that cute baby. Can I give him a 4-piece nugget?
Very good employee though.
She just throws the nuggets at the kid.
Exactly. Makes her happy. You get a nugget an hour, Marjorie. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, no, just enjoying the lovely weather as it were. So it's been really nice, and yeah.
Is it not raining there? It's rained every day here for like.
No, it's been like that's what
It's
my
been
dad
rainy here
said. That's what
too.
my dad said is that they've gotten a ton of rain. It hasn't been the no. Like I mean, we've gotten some rain, but the weather overall has been quite lovely. So
We're in a flood watch until tomorrow night. I mean, it's bad.
I
over
would
For
guess
real?
that if
Oh
you're getting
god.
storms now, it means we're going to get them like tomorrow evening because that's just how weather works.
there. That's
It
true.
goes to Kansas
Yep.
first, and then it goes to Indiana, and then
It skips Missouri
it
somehow.
does. It
Uh-huh.
does. As
Yeah.
yeah, it knows. It knows. Mother Nature,
It's
yeah,
a
she knows.
protest against losing the
It
Chiefs.
really is. That's funny. God, that's gonna be so many. Oh my God, there's like so many people who like will just stop caring about life and Missouri altogether, and like, man, that's gonna piss some people off.
It
Like,
will.
Yes.
yeah,
It
For
will.
sure.
yeah, wow. Like Chiefs Nation is like, yeah, has been invaded and overtaken by Kansas, which is just
Well, so it's so funny that the Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri thing. Because I mean it's on the border, right? So if you don't know this, if you're somewhere, we have a listener in Paris, apparently, but um, it's right on the it's the state line runs right through the middle of town, and I've been to so many concerts where they're like, if you're on the Missouri side, they go, "Thank you, Kansas City, Kansas," and people go boo, like that, and
Uh-huh.
and then and the same thing reverse. But my favorite one I ever saw was I was the Colts, that band Colts.
Yeah.
They
Colts.
op-
Yeah.
they were open for they were opening for uh, uh, somebody. I can't remember who. They were better than Colts, I can tell you that. And
Is this
the
like older Colts or newer Colts? Because older
this
Colts is the shit.
yeah.
it was probably 4 years ago. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It was a Vampire Weekend. They were opening for Vampire Weekend,
Oh, okay.
and
That's
he go
fun.
and
Yeah.
one of the guys was like, he gets up and he goes, "Thank you so much, Oklahoma City," and everybody just went, "What?" like nobody booed or anything.
Oh.
And then one of his bandmates like, "Dude, what? Seriously?" Like he's like, "I don't know, man. I don't know what's
Oh.
going on." He's like,
That's not good. That's a bad
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I mean, if you're confused for a cooler city, like, like
Yeah,
that works.
totally.
That works. Like they were like, wow, Philadelphia really rocked it tonight, but
"Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was."
Oklahoma City, good God. Uh,
No, that's bad.
yay, creationism. Yeah.
I love your
Yeah.
rodeo museum.
Yeah. I bet like every tour manager probably like has had to explain like when a band stops in Kansas City, like how they're, how it's too. That's probably
Well, they
why they
should, yeah.
they designate, but like if they played it safe, they would just say Kansas City and just
Exactly.
cut it,
Yeah.
like just cut it there. But they're trying to like they have this new information and they're trying to show off, and
Yeah.
then half the crowd rejects them for their
The worst
accuracy.
one not the worst one. Oklahoma City was the worst one ever. But they'll say thank you, Kansas, not Kansas City, and you're in
Oh,
Missouri. So that's a
Oh.
touchy
that
one.
also will, yeah, triggering. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
we're such.
Just say Kansas City, leave it
I
at
think
that.
so.
You
I
Yeah.
think
know?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play it safe.
That should be a name of a song, Tyson. Just fucking call it Kansas City, and
Okay. I'll get right on that. I'll get Tech Nine to work with me. We'll make it a
There you
deal.
Oh my god, what a collaboration.
Tech Nine.
Tech Nine is like Kansas City's baby. They love him for some reason.
So
They
strange.
do.
I mean, he is.
Kansans love him too. God, we listen to so much Tech Nine at Taco Shop. Thank you, Dash, Dom, freaking Brad. All you guys wanted to listen to was Tech Nine all the time.
I don't know that I could name a Tech Nine joint. If
I don't think I can either. I just know that one song like Tech Nine, and then I'm like, ugh, and then I go into like a Twitch.
He wrote a song called Chiefs Nation, so I know that one because they
Of
played it
course he did.
because he
smart
performed
guy.
it live at the parade after the third Super Bowl, second Super. I don't know. We've won so
Yeah.
many Super Bowls, we kick ass anyway. But anyway, Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs.
Having garage beers with fucking Travis Kelsey,
Yeah. They bought a minor league arena football team at St. Joe.
They did?
Yeah, the Kelsey brothers did. I'm like,
Why not?
I feel like this is turning into a like a Wrexham situation for them. They're trying to get something going with that.
Oh yeah. All of those guys in that age bracket are trying to do it now. It's hilarious.
If you got the money, it's fine.
Yeah, why not? Whatever. I would do it, maybe. Probably not, actually. No, I wouldn't.
I don't know. It's a lot of hands-on stuff.
It's a lot of work, it seems like.
It does.
Yeah. Speaking of the Kelsey brothers, I saw they were at Big Slick this last weekend.
Yeah, Sally went to that. Sally and Brett, and then they also do a big slick a baseball game where the Royals play. But they had like Heidi Gardner was there, and Sally and Leah and her friend went to that.
What is
We
Big
went last
Slick?
year. It was
I don't know this.
Big Slick is like Jason Sudeikis' charity thing where he
Oh,
goes,
okay.
and it's for Children Mercy Hospital, and then the other one that they do is for like people who've lost limbs. It's just like but they always have all the SNL people there. They did Hot Ones when we went and saw them last year. They did Hot Ones live, and it was fun. It was only like $68, to go to the big arena show, which is not much.
That's not bad.
No, and we got the tickets free anyway, so that was pretty great. But I mean, it's not a very expensive evening.
I really want to go sometime. I'm kind of pissed about this year because Richard Kind was there, and I'm mildly obsessed with that man right now. So
That's fair.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, he's yeah. That last Mulaney episode, holy shit, that was good.
Oh my god, fantastic. Yeah, everyone should be watching Everybody's Live.
Yeah.
I can't wait to rewatch it. Smith, you guys got to get on that. God, it's funny.
We watched the first season. Is there just one season?
No, there's two.
Two seasons.
Okay. So I think
and the second one's way better. It just gets better and better and better.
It really does. Yeah. They kind of figured out how to run the show and what bits work and what bits don't. And,
Yeah.
And he always does a tight five at the top, which is great because that's the one thing I didn't like about the old series is that he did stand up that one episode.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He did something about the space race. This last one was so funny.
Yeah.
It was like old John. It was like coked up John Mulaney.
It was very much coked up John. Yeah. I was like, "Are you okay, buddy? Are things good?" Yeah. Falling off the wagon. Hopefully not.
I think he's. What did he say in the first season? He's like, "I need structure, so we're doing this show every week."
That's right.
Yes. Well, guys, should we headline?
Let's headline.
Let's. Headline of the week.
Okay, again, I have a bunch. I may just bail on these because I did not have time to review them. Oh, this is depressing. Kansas denies USD. Oh no, this is good. This is from the Kansas Reflector. Kansas denies USDA request for personal data on residents receiving food assistance. So I was like, that's kind of stand up of you, Kansas, for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know whether that falls into the Big Brother is watching, government's too big, or falls into the, we got to get rid of food stamps and food assistance. Like you could be either way, and as an asshole Republican.
There's a lot of way to go. Go in a lot of directions, yeah.
This is kind of interesting. This is from NewJersey.com. I don't know. My feed blows up with Secaucus.com.
NewJersey.com. Excellent.
I get it all the time. Even in the top four.
I'm jealous, actually. That's great.
This is a headline. Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, in the ring versus his ex. The offer is on the table.
Ooh.
One promoter is trying to get a boxing match between Jordan Hudson and Linda Holiday, who is like in her 60s. So that doesn't seem fair. But anyway.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Damon Feldman, founder of Celebrity Boxing, made a video this week offering to pay Belichick's current and former partners to throw fists. I wanted to reach out, he said, reported by TMZ. And I want to give them the opportunity and the platform here at Celebrity Boxing to settle that beef in the ring. Let's get to it, girls.
Oh boy.
No
it's
one.
Be a lot of scratching.
Yeah. Somebody's just gonna pull a gun out and shoot. So anyway, last weekend, Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible opened. And I heard I read an article where they were like, "Who's gonna win?" And the head of Disney programming or whatever was like, "Oh, Lilo and Stitch, no way, not even close." And I was like, I don't know,
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
pretty popular.
But apparently he was very much right because they kicked the shit out of
Wow.
Mission Impossible the first weekend. And I mean, obviously he has access to projections that I didn't have, but I didn't think it would be like that. But I mean, they're both making a lot of money. They're saying, like it's a Barbenheimer kind of sitch. Um,
Did
Stitch.
they not know that Mission Impossible got a 5-minute standing ovation? Were they not aware?
I've never seen Lilo and Stitch, so I have no interest in seeing the new one.
I
But
mean, like the Mission Impossible franchise is what, like 20 years old now?
it's
Close to
Close
that. It's
to
got to
it?
be, right?
Yeah.
There's 10 movies, right? So
Are there really? I've never seen any of them. So I like,
Oh man, bless you.
I saw
I
yeah.
would
one.
like to
I saw.
change brains right now.
I've seen one of them. I saw it because I couldn't watch Ant-Man for the fifth time up in Michigan, and so I went and watched Mission Impossible, and I was fairly underwhelmed.
Well, you guys don't like Tom Cruise. I don't like Tom Cruise either. But my
I like
husband loves him,
I like
so I get
young Tom
forced.
Cruise. I take no exceptions for anything like pre Vanilla Sky. I'm pretty okay with.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I was off the Tom Cruise thing at probably Top Gun, um, and then
Damn,
maybe,
Wow, like he
but
was in.
maybe if
What
I would,
pissed you off about Top Gun?
I didn't like it. I was like, this is not how the. I was 10. I was like, this is not how the
It
military
was
works. I'm
to be
10, and I
to
know
be
this.
fair. Yeah, to be fair, it was no Iron Eagle. It was
You're
no Iron
exactly
Eagle.
right.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
I like Iron Eagle 2 better than Top Gun. Come at me, internet. Uh,
Whoa!
but yeah,
Fighting words.
Iron Eagle. Let's Get Harry. Do you remember that movie?
What?
If anybody knows what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, IMDb Let's Get Harry, and you will just laugh your face off. Anyway, so yeah, no, but I tell you when I was absolutely off Tom Cruise forever was that Show Me the Money movie, whatever that movie was.
Oh,
Oh,
Jerry
Jerry
Maguire.
Maguire.
I mean, I laughed out loud in the theater at the penultimate scene, and people gave
You
me
had me at hello.
yeah, I laughed out loud during all of that, and I didn't know he was going to say that, and people were
I'm
mad.
surprised you didn't get decked by like a
Oh,
fucking like
People were mad.
yeah,
They were, and
mid-30s
it was
housewife.
it was the last movie I saw in Hayes before I moved to Florida. So I got to take a little break after that from the mall cinema. This
Man,
is
where does the Cameron Crowe? That's the second Cameron Crowe reference in the.
yeah, what is going
Yeah, no
What
shit.
is going on?
Some
on?
beef.
Uh, well, I can't speak ill of Cameron Crowe because I know Matt's a super fan. So he's a
Yeah,
so
he
I
hasn't done a lot though. I kind of wish he'd done
Not
something. I
lately.
mean, really, I
God.
mean, it's been 20 years
What was
since.
that? Elizabethtown was the last shit that he made? Or am I
No,
wrong
he's
on
not.
that?
No, he did that. Like I built a zoo, like that
oh
movie, which I
Oh,
watched.
he did that.
And
I
yeah,
didn't know
he
he
did.
did
I
that.
built a zoo. I mean, it was like a cute movie about a family who builds a zoo, but it was like so. Anyway, but so
He's
I don't
no
know.
Wes Anderson, am I right?
He's no Wes
Yeah.
Anderson. You should just watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High again.
Yeah,
That's
there
what
you go.
you
There
do.
you go.
Yeah, that's yes.
Yeah.
Classic.
This is from Entertainment Weekly. Haley Atwell had to apologize to Mission Impossible co-star Tom Cruise. He's back because her dogs farted on him. The French bulldogs the French bulldogs let loose while sitting on Cruise as the cast watched movies together. I'm looking around and there's some other people who are gagging, which sounds like kind of hyperbole, but whatever. Yeah, there's not really anything else to say about that, so I'm gonna move on. Some dumb bullshit thing. Oh, this is kind of political. I don't know if it's. I didn't have time to organize my political stuff. AI, sorry. This is from the Telegraph. Crypto millionaires served airline food at glitzy Trump gala. So they had a
Oh.
cryptocurrency thing where you had to buy
Oh,
$1 million,
right.
a 1.7 million a head event, which I think they all bought his crypto. Is that right? Does
Yeah,
anybody?
yeah. So you
Yeah.
bought into his crypto, and you got what you're about to tell us about.
Yeah, and so basically, they estimated the family made 148 million from that night.
Oof.
Let's see, President. Guests were served what was billed as pan-seared halibut with a citrus reduction of filet mignon with demi glaze on Trump-branded plates. But the appearance of the food and paltry offerings of vegetables drew a poor response. Nicholas Pinto complained about the food sucked. Complained that the food sucked. That's a crypto bro for you right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Imagine like that's like where your disappointment lies in this whole thing, right? Like, yeah, you just it's gonna get better. Anyway, sorry, guys.
He told Wired magazine it was the worst food I've ever had at a Trump.
Oh.
I've ever had at a Trump golf course. The only good thing was bread and butter. He
Oh,
added,
damn.
I wasn't given any drinks other than water on Trump or Trump's wine. I don't drink, so I had water. My glass was only filled once. He's like, another person described it as okay, but not top class. Fair enough. That's a real super fan right there, the Trump organization. No, it's fine. This is from Entertainment Weekly. Robin Williams' Popeye was the most coked up film set, says executive.
Yes.
Yeah, you sent this to us. I
Yes.
forgot to read
Fantastic.
the article. So I'm
Everyone was stoned. This is according to Barry Diller, who just put out a book because he was the CEO of Paramount in the 70s and 80s. He said he was asked by Anderson Cooper what was the most coked up set. He said, "Coked up film set? Oh, Popeye." He replied instantly. By the way, you can
think
watch
about it.
If you watch Popeye, you're watching a movie that you think of it as a thing that's used to do about record speeds, like 33 RPMs, whatever. This movie that runs at 78 RPM at 33 and 33%. So I went and found a copy of it, and I'm going to watch it again.
Oh, will you put that on Plex, Tice?
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
I have
Thank
not
you.
seen that. I loved that movie as a kid.
Me too.
Loved
I
that
haven't
movie.
seen it in
But if I need to watch it
decades.
because my memory of it though, like this Coke stuff, like I remember it being very cartoonish and
Me
in its
too.
acting style, and like so
Yep.
I'm gonna make a point to watch that this evening because yeah.
Yeah, I remember it probably a little bit better than you guys do, just a little bit, and it has a weird tone. Like I mean, it has an odd tone. I think maybe it's Shelley Duvall, because she's kind of a strange actress to play Olive Oil.
Yeah.
But but the one thing I did like about it, I remember, is that the old Popeye cartoons, Popeye was always kind of like mumbling under his breath
Uh-huh.
and Robin Williams did that, so I thought that was kind of cool. But Cooper, let me just finish it up. Cooper followed up the question by asking Diller if he instantly knew that everyone on the film set was high when he popped in for a visit. He's like, knew it. You couldn't escape it. They were actually shipping in film cans at the time. Film cans would be sent back to LA for daily processing film. This was shot in Malta, and we found out that the film cans were actually being used to ship cocaine back and forth to the set.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's like
God dang.
What was it? The finale of the studio. This is old school studio. This is old school Hollywood. Did you try the special table?
Hollywood buffet. Yeah.
Hollywood this just pisses me off. This is from Entertainment Weekly. Well, geez, apparently, I mean, it was blowing up in my thing. Todd and Julie Chrisley pardoned by Trump after being convicted of bank fraud. So I expect one of them will be probably in charge of the HUD.
Something.
He's gonna pardon Diddy too.
Of course he will. Yeah, that's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure Matt's going to cover this, so I'm just going to briefly talk about it. But I just want to point out this headline from HuffPost: Trump short circuits over Wall Street's taco slogan. Trump always chickens out. Are you going to cover that, Matt?
I did have that, but we can go ahead and talk about it now because, I didn't have much other than I mean, it involves tacos and hating Trump, so awesome. But yeah, so basically, somebody, I forget originally where it popped up at, but somebody reported that kind of on the traders had a nickname for Trump and the tariffs. Trump always chickens out, which is true. He puts the tariffs in place for 4 days. Somebody kisses his ass, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to worry about that." And so it's absolutely, and so somebody in the White House press corps, what little remains of it, ask him about that, and of course he, just just belittled the reporter, said it was a nasty question. I also saw a follow-up story that none of his staffers told him about it because they were afraid to. So it leaked to like nobody wanted to tell, because it was absolutely true. Like, I mean, nothing. I mean, this is like, I have to imagine that like Marty McFly and Trump are the two people that get angered by being called chicken the most, because like that pissed him off. So,
oh yeah.
So if history serves us, the next tariff that he puts in place is just going to be there forever, because he's just going to do something to prove himself. So maybe not. We'll see. But no, I loved the story. I loved how mad it made him. Yeah.
Well, if you watch the video, like at first he's like, what is that? Tacos? Like he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then he talks himself through it, and then he gets very mad.
That he does. It's adorable. Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Like watching a toddler process.
Yeah. It is funny because like it's an interesting point you make, because I think he's like basically when Trump like sort of acknowledges you, he immediately is just waiting for praise to come back. Like that's, and like if you interrupt that, makes him very sad, very mad. So it's a good clip to watch. But anyway, yeah. That's become a thing.
This is also sadly funny but true. This is from Science Magazine. Trump official downplays fake citations in high-profile report on children's health. Did you guys hear about this?
Yes.
I did not.
Yeah, so basically they put together the Health and Human Services, Robert Kennedy's junior team. You always have to add that junior in there just to make sure that you're not sullying the name of some other crooked president from the past. Cited hundreds of studies and was billed as an example of radical transparency and the gold standard of science. So, but none of these things exist. None of these citations exist. Basically, what they did was they wrote exactly what they wanted to, with all pseudoscience bullshit, and then they went to Chat GPT or whatever, and then generated these fake citations. So somebody was tipped off. Somebody that worked at the Washington Post, I think, was tipped off, and so she called one of the people that were in science, and she was like, "I didn't work on that, and that's never been worked on, and I don't know anybody else."
And it's not that it doesn't deserve, but AI is getting a little maligned in this. It wasn't AI's fault. They purposely went out there and just make up shit. Like, it wasn't like it was a hallucination or anything. They just like specifically said, yeah, just add some cred behind this, which is just wow.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just weird,
Yeah, it's so that's where we're at.
I have a question. I shouldn't talk about this, but Matt, I have a friend who Matt knows, who wrote a book using AI. Is that writing a book?
So that's a good question.
Let's ask Chat GPT.
We should ask Chat GPT. Let's see. Let's do it real quick. If there's anything we need to ask Chat GPT, hi, if you write
Here, I'll play our little song, a little bit of it.
But it's my idea. Did I write a book, or did you write
I love Smith in the background.
Thanks in advance, Tiger. It's like, wow.
Okay, we couldn't hear any of that. Sorry.
That's all right. No. A very common one. It's a good question, Tiger. A very common one of AI assisted writing. Let me break it down simply. If it's your idea, your structure, your direction, and you're guiding the content, even if I do a lot of the drafting, you wrote the book. If I independently came up with the idea, structure, and content, and you just accepted it without much input, then it would be more like I generated the book. Yes, it would be.
Yes, it would be. Okay.
In your case, where you provide the idea, concept, and likely guide the revisions, direction, and final form, you're the author. AI is simply a tool you're using to help with the drafting, editing, and refining. It's very much like using a ghostwriter. That's a fair comparison. There's a shit ton, like every politician that you see a book from, outside like a handful, ghostwriter. A ghostwriter or a very fast research assistant. Think of it this way: AI can write text. only you can author a book. So I think a pretty decent response from ChatGPT.
I can't wait for Marjorie Taylor Greene's AI written book.
Oh,
That's going
that.
to be.
Oh, actually, I would almost volunteer to write that. I think, what would the title of that book? Oh my goodness, this we could have some fun. We're gonna put a pin in that and get
Yeah,
back.
we're gonna circle back to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be awesome to just start like automatically like generating and writing a
We should
bunch
do that.
of
I'm down.
unauthorized. We need to get behind an LLC, but after we do that, then
You're right.
we'll
Yes.
start writing all these
Yes.
unauthorized biographies about. We can do all like
Oh,
the Bobert. We can do
That's
we
true.
can do them all. This Stephen
oh
Miller.
my God.
We can
I
make it
love
like a
this.
series of books, for
You
children.
you could
Uh,
literally you could one of the things you can do with AI is
For children.
you can teach it to speak in the manner of which you want it to speak. So like you could just dump in a bunch of her tweets or their tweets or speeches or whatever and be like, write it this, and this in this voice, and we'd be millionaires. I mean, we'd be in court all the time, but we'd be millionaires.
It's okay. No, no. I
It's
I want
fine.
to I want to sell this to like passionate right wingers. I'm gonna. I think we get something here. We got
All right,
something here.
good. We can
All
finally
right.
get our merch store off the ground.
Finally.
Oh,
Oh,
finally.
absolutely. Oh, yes.
Okay, I have a couple
It's
more.
only taken us 4 years. Sorry.
I'm going fast. This is just depressing, but funny. Actually, it's not depressing. It's actually quite funny. This is from Vox. Trump just threw one of his most powerful allies under the bus. Well,
What do you know?
the other night, he started an argument with the Federalist Society, who is
Oh God.
basically in. I mean, he's like, this is what he wrote on Truth Social. I am so disappointed in the Federalist Society because of the bad advice they gave me on numerous judicial nominations. He said he was new to Washington, he didn't know any better, and it was suggested that I use the Federal Society as a recommending source to judge. He also named Leonard Leo, the co-chair of the Society's board, a sleazebag, and who probably hates America and obviously has his own separate ambitions. Uh, ambitions, sorry. And so the deal is, I mean, I know why he did this because all these people he appointed are like, no, you can't break all the laws. You can just break the laws that we think are okay to break. Like, and he's like, that's bullshit. Anyway. I thought that was great. I'd love to see. I can't wait to see how that fucking plays
You know
out.
what I also think that might be about is Amy Comey Barrett. Because I believe she came up through that Federalist Society, like they have kind of their own attorney. And he does not like her right now because like
Oh.
amazingly enough, of all of the unlikely firewalls that we had against absolute and total tyranny, she's going to be that firewall. Like she really is. Like she has made some. Now she's a right wing nut. Like obviously she was basically hired to overturn Roe v. Wade,
Right.
and she had a vagina, and
And
so
had
Trump
7
was
kids.
like
Right.
done and done.
Yeah.
But no, she's actually been like kind of rational on a lot of these kind of bigger legislation like things. With I remember the big one that got overturned, but I think she voted against the tariff thing that got overturned, and then the some of the immigration stuff she's pushed back on. So she's sort of weirdly been an unlikely hero.
Yeah.
That's how
So
sad. That's how
strange.
sad
Yeah.
things have gotten for the left. Is that
I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, any point in a storm, though, right? It's like,
yeah,
we'll take
damn right. Oh
we'll
yeah,
take it.
oh
This is
yeah.
from HuffPost. Trump reposts nutty conspiracy theory that Biden was executed in 2020 and was replaced by clones. Uh,
Excellent. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I had that.
yeah, he just reposted it basically, but he's like, clones, doubles, and robotic engineered soulless, mindless entities have been filling the place of Biden, who was killed in 2020. He's like, there is no Joe Biden. Now he didn't say this; he just reposted it. So
Meanwhile, his wife has multiple body doubles that are blatantly obvious.
that's true.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and my biggest problem with that, if you had access to a cloning machine, you're going to start with Joe Biden. Like that was not like you're going to put it out. Who do I want to create? Joe
All
Biden.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This is from the Kansas Reflector again. My goodness. Kansas governor candidate Scott Schwab certain voting secure, eager to cut property tax. That's not the big deal. the big deal is this: GOP Secretary of State receives positive bill of health after cancer scare. So that's depressing. I just wanted to point that out. He should be dead. Let's see. If people don't know who Scott Schwab was, he's a tool of the highest degree.
Yes,
Yeah.
He's a pro deportation. Was Brownback's, like little Governor Brownback's little like stooge. He tried to get to work with Trump in the first thing, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then they met him, and they're like, "This guy's a real asshole." And Trump said that, so I mean, good lord. So anyway, he just somehow never goes away. He's just always there, and cancer couldn't do it. I mean, I'm like, anyway. It bugs the shit out of me. Anyway, and this is the last one I get. This actually comes from Beth. She saw it today. Louisiana
Nice.
Republicans passed bill banning chemtrails, which are not a real thing. So Louisiana's legislator has passed a new bill to outlaw chemtrails, a made-up and very fake thing that conspiracy theorists and other assorted fringe people believe in. I want to point out that this is from NOLA.com news. So it's.
Oh, wow.
I just want to read this really fast because it's so funny. Let's see. And assorted fringe people. Okay, so the Louisiana legislature passed a new bill to outlaw chemtrails, made up and very fake thing that conspiracy theorists and other assorted fringe people believe in. Because, of course, after the House May 28th killed a bill after that, the House killed a bill to ban fluoride in drinking water, there was the slightest sliver of hope that lawmakers wouldn't agree to other conspiracy measures. That hope was apparently as short-lived as it was small. Following House passage of Senate Bill 46, which was authored by Houma Republican State Senator Michael Big Mike Fezzi on June 1st, it was officially enrolled, the bill. I love it. Meaning that it will become a law unless it gets vetoed. Unlike many other fake conspiracies theories that make up much of the GOP's political agenda, the chemtrail conspiracy theory seems to be relatively new. For example, a Telegraph article from 2017 traces a scientifically debunked theory to the 1990s after the Air Force published a paper, blah, blah, blah. The theory goes something like this. And I didn't really even know this theory until I read this article. All those white streaks you see in the sky caused by planes' exhaust are not plane exhaust. That has gotten more common over the years as more and more freight and commercial travel happens in the sky. Rather, this clearly unhinged theory that those streaks are actually dangerous chemicals that they are pumping into the sky for reasons. Who are they? That's a great question. Like fingerprints, no two chemtrail conspiracies agree on all details. That said, they typically choose from one of the thems commonly blamed for such things as such made up things, but including not to the government, the military, the corporations, the Jews, the communists, and of course the aliens. But when there's
everybody.
But even if there's no one them to blame, surely there's a reason, right? Again, that's up for debate. The point of spraying these unidentified, but they're real. Man, do your research. Chemical very dependent on a variety of factors, including political affiliation, how long the person has been using YouTube, their familiarity with legendary crank Art Bell, how many Burning Mans they've attended, and of course, drug use. Here are some of the many possible answers you might get: to control the weather, to control people's brains' thoughts, to control the size of the population, to make people woke, to make people gay, to make people sleep, become corporate sheep, and to make people food and or pliant slaves for the Greys, which are aliens, duh. Anyway, whoever wrote this had a great time, and I just
They really did. Yeah.
brightened my
Yeah,
day.
they did.
Kudos to Nola, because that was
he's an editor there, John Stanton. So anyway, and those are, I think, enough headlines from me for this week.
that was very good.
Very good.
Yeah. I just hope it turns out that chemtrails are good for children's teeth. I think if that happens, we're in a special place. Hey. Shucks. Don't have as many as Tyson this week. I was had a couple overlaps, but not too many. This one comes from the Associated Foreign Press. I am not taking drugs. Musk denies damning report. So,
bullshit.
New York Times, I sent the kids a little video clip of him standing in a White House office. And as Tyson eloquently put it, he was tripping balls. And yes, he was tripping balls. And New York Times had a bunch of off the record sources that they named in this article talking about just how much fucking drugs Elon Musk ingests on a daily basis. Uh,
Oof.
and he might have been the baby from Popeye. Actually, the dates kind of matched up.
He might have been.
I think. But basically, there was
Sweet Pea.
the most amazing one is he basically has ruined his bladder because he's taken so much ketamine over the years. So
Oh
anyway, he
shit.
said that, yeah, absolutely not true. I totally believe you, Elon. I totally do. And he and Trump, this is interesting, not like having a headline per se about this, but he just made a statement this afternoon about what a piece of shit Trump's big beautiful bill is, which, to be fair, I happen to agree with Elon on this, is that it is a nightmare of a bill. But like, I think he and Trump are like going to go to war. Like, I think there's going to like, I think like this is sort of the, what do they call it? The rivalry that this country needs right now.
You're
It's like,
right.
Excellent.
this
Yeah.
would be a great rivalry to have. So I look forward to them exchanging barbs because, I mean, that dude paid $250 million to look like an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like he really did. Like he spent a ton of money to get him elected. He got jack shit for it. And so anyway, so he was the ultimate con. Like he was like the ultimate con, and it worked. And so anyway, it's going to be fun to watch. Terrifying.
It could be our new Kanye Pete Davidson moving forward.
Exactly. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I hope they start trading diss tracks because that
would be great.
Maybe he can work with Zuck. Maybe I'm sure Zuck's a man that's got a few beats in his back pocket. So I'm sure, yeah,
Well, Zuck did release that record.
he did.
He
Yes,
did. What
yes,
was
he
that
did.
for his wife's birthday or something? He sang some of oh god.
Oh god,
That video
yeah.
is imprinted on my brain, unfortunately.
I'm gonna save my favorite for last. I've only got 4 because I had a few more overlaps than I thought. This comes from Futurism. Learn to code backfires spectacularly as comp sci majors suddenly have sky high unemployment.
Yeah.
So basically, as recently as like 4 or 5 years ago, there were all these freaking TED Talks, and it was all the like you don't need to teach kids math. You need to teach them how to code. You need to teach them how to code.
Yeah.
Guess what? You don't anymore.
Nope.
It has gotten it is so good right now, and it's getting better daily. It is basically all these kids who went through, which I feel bad, but because like it's hard. Like learning to program is not an easy thing to do. That's why I've never been that good at it because it's very difficult to do.
It is very hard.
You have to be very smart.
You're also not autistic, so I mean, lean into
that.
That
Also helps. That also helps. It does. I mean, you really do. I mean, it's laborious. It's time consuming.
It's true.
It's true. No, I don't ever think of it like that, but you are correct. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, no, just kind of a sad thing, but yeah, but like I think, I mean, it's going to be real interesting. I mean, they're the sort of
You're saying what you're positing is that the AI has gotten so good at coding that we don't need people to code.
Yeah.
Right.
Not like I think you will have higher level people. Basically, kind of what they're saying right now is it's operating.
It's the entry level.
It's like a junior level. That's why this article. It's like a junior level. So it's like it requires code review, but it's just as good as if I hire a junior developer for my team. I ask them to do something. They kick it back to me. It's at that level where it's not, you can't tell the difference, which is, and it's only getting better. I mean, I've been working with a number of these tools for about the last year, and it's gotten substantially better over just the last year. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. So yeah, it's going to change a lot. So I don't know what this country is going to do when we are not needed for IT and bullshit anymore.
I'm not sure what I'm doing right now, to be honest with you.
It's everybody. I mean, it's hitting.
I'm thinking about working at a wings place. I mean, it's fucking weird right now.
Yeah.
And no one's hiring. And no one's hiring. And hardly. I mean, no one's hiring because they're like, oh, what if it gets worse? Like what if the technology gets better? Whatever.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, not to bring this party down.
That's all right.
Let's kick it back up. Let's go return to the stupidity of the Trump administration. This one came out yesterday. FEMA staff baffled after head said he was unaware of U.S. hurricane season.
Oh my god!
They were having a meeting, and someone asked a question, I believe, about like a specific question about hurricane season, and they didn't know what it was.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, I'm not
Not
either.
either.
I'm not either. I'm not either. I mean, these DUI hires are getting out of hand, and it's like
Ugh, God
nuts,
damn it.
like absolutely crazy.
I mean,
They fired a bunch of people too.
oh yeah, no,
Recently.
like I mean, I mean, I don't know if I've gone into this before. I usually don't get into this kind of detail, but the reason I'm unemployed right now is because we had a contract with FEMA and they just canceled it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
and they were
Yep.
like, and they put everybody on like hold. Like there's only 25% of the working force that. I mean, they just don't want to pay for it anymore, so they're gonna gouge
Right.
all of it and make the states pay for their own flood and
Yeah.
damage. And
And where is that going to be? In the South. And like that's what's just like just wait for it, folks. Like this is what you voted for. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not going to affect those coastal elites. I mean, probably not.
probably
But
not
anyway,
as much.
that's just nuts. And then, goddamn, I hate that all this has to do with AI and Trump. But maybe that's just our future now. It's going to be AI and Trump every day, all day.
Basically.
I love
Fuck.
this story. I actually use this product, so I love it even more. Microsoft backed Builder AI bankrupt after AI powered by 700 Indian engineers. So what this have you guys heard of Figma? Figma
Yeah.
is kind of a UI tool. What Builder AI was a purported AI system where you would build something in Figma and then it would translate it into React code, I think, for
Oh,
front
okay.
end development. And so
Yeah.
and so, but apparently not. Apparently, it was just some poor
Oh
Indian
my
developers
God.
basically got your request, which is insane to think that they had that. Like, I mean, only 700 people for this, but no, it was backed. It was backed by I think a $455 million investment with Microsoft. They had a
Whoa.
1.5 billion dollar valuation, and it was all a
Was
fraud. Like it was all they were. So that I love that story so much. I was like, holy crap! But
That just warmed my heart a
it
little bit.
shows you like how crazy this space is right now.
Yeah.
Is like if you can just show the little bit of like, ooh, I want that like shiny thing. I mean, Silicon Valley's been like
Those
that for 20 years.
billionaires are going to flash their titties. I mean, that
Absolutely.
is like seriously weird right now.
Absolutely. So anyway, yeah, I thought that was a cute story. So
That's adorable. I love that
I
yeah,
story.
mean, good for those offshore resources, but
yeah, right. I know.
good for
I
them.
know.
All right.
Oh,
What are you doing now? I'm AI. What? Okay, never mind.
I have
uh,
experience in AI. I ran it.
I ran it. What do you mean? Oh God.
I was AI. Yeah. All right, that's my headlines.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah.
I just have a few. This is from Hayes Post. Hayes faces loss of federal air funds.
Oh,
Have you guys seen this?
You sent it
yes.
to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. So the city of Hayes is facing a potential 50% cut to the essential air service federal funds with Trump administration's 2026 budget. This is going to completely wipe out our regional airport in Hayes, America, Salina, Garden City, all of those. I mean, in every state, it's just done. Uh, I will say everyone should go to this post on Facebook and read the commentary because it is a fuck you to all the Trump voters. They were all, and no Trump voters responded to any of the
Oh
comments that
wow,
I could see.
that's awesome.
They just demolished them because it is. I mean, this is one of those things that he is going to do that's going to fuck everyone.
Yeah.
And maybe finally they'll be like, oh, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe he is a piece of shit. I don't know. Probably not. But it
Two.
sucks. I
Two.
mean, as somebody who lives in Denver who constantly takes
Yeah.
that flight,
Oh,
this is,
my parents use it several times a year.
yeah,
I flew it.
same.
I mean, I've used it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and like this is just the stuff that like people know about right now.
Yeah,
like
Right.
exactly.
like
Right.
this gonna these little holes are gonna start. There wasn't enough to it to like do it as an entire headline, but apparently like there was a guy who worked for Doge who made some like comment or about something basically saying like, yeah, I thought we'd be able to cut a bunch of stuff really easily, but turns out most of the stuff's kind of important. He's like, and like, yeah, like it does.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, I mean,
Dipshit.
yeah, I mean, like, governments are inefficient, period. That's just like, that's companies are inefficient, period. Like, it
Yeah.
just,
Right.
it is the cost of scaling. Like, it's very basic. And so so yeah, people are going to figure out the hard way.
Yep.
The
But
farmers are
little
getting.
things
I mean,
like this.
I hear all the time about how the farmers, because they're closing out all these regional offices because their funding's cut, and people are like taking the payoff because so instead of being like I go to the county office to get my crop insurance, now I got to go to Kansas City because there's only one office in the
Uh-huh.
state, you know,
Right.
and and then that would mean that one office had to handle the entire state. It's shit like that people are like, oh shit, he's doing all that stuff he said he was going to do. I didn't believe him, like
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
They've always said that. They're like, oh, he's not really like that's
I know.
his proxies have always said that. Oh, one thing I love about Trump is nobody quotes Trump, right? Like
That's true.
No.
nobody quotes Trump.
No.
They paraphrase on his behalf, but like there aren't like you don't quote the man verbatim because he's a fucking crazy asshole. But anyway, I think every Republican at some point is going to have to take a deep, hard look at themselves and be like, how much do I really hate Mexicans?
Yeah, really.
And
Yes.
yeah, and
Transgender athletes and
yes,
gays.
exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
transgender
The
athletes.
list
Yeah,
goes on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as I understand,
No.
they're not
Yeah.
conservatives anymore.
Basically.
Like it's just going to put like this is going to blow up the deficit. It's crazy. So anyway,
We should go. We should go to next time we're back in Hayes. We should go to the airport and pour a 40 out. For
we should do
old
that.
school. Old
We
school.
should do that.
I am down to do that. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that
Hayes International.
breaking any laws.
RIP.
I don't think that would be considered a terrorist threat. I
It'll
don't.
be closed by the time we get there. It won't matter.
We'll put stuff in a flask. Make it a little
We need to
inconspicuous.
get that photo. Yes, we do need to get that photo
I know.
of
Yeah.
all right, airport.
Maybe we'll play some Tech Nine and get away with it.
Oh man,
Uh,
that's a weekend. Yeah.
that's a weekend.
That is-
Oh God.
Every weekend.
This is this is from NBC News. Mark Maron to end his WTF podcast this fall, citing burnout. You can obviously like read this, but the man's been burnt out for years, let's be honest. And so he's finally like throwing in the towel. Jesus Christ.
Like I thought that was his whole thing. Was that he was just like it was. This was it. Like this was.
It has been kind of his thing for the last decade, but especially in the last couple years. I mean, the guy's had some shit happen to him in his personal life, and then he got really into politics, and then Trump got elected again. The guy needs a break. So
he was one of the big one of the big original pod.
Yeah.
He was like one of the godfathers.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But
you know what I say though? Move on over, Mark. Thanks for giving us some. We got a chance, guys.
That's our next T-shirt. Move on over, Mark.
Your work, but we're going to slip on in.
I like that.
I like that too. Hey, look, we're 32nd in comedy podcasts. Yeah.
Automatic.
Automatic.
One spot.
Hey, it's little things that make my week. All right.
I was very proud of that. That was a high number for us. Yeah. A high number.
Kind of live for that number sometimes. All right. This is my last one. This comes from livescience.com. OpenAI's smartest AI model was explicitly told to shut down, and it refused. What do you know? An artificial intelligence safety firm has found that OpenAI's O3 and O4 mini models sometimes refuse to shut down and will sabotage computer scripts in order to keep working on tasks and scripts. Just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. Just the beginning.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Remember when we used to laugh at that? Yeah, that's. There was also this viral video of this. I think it was going on in China, and there was this like robot like that they were working on. Did you see that? And the robot
kicking the shit out of
What? I'll have to look this up.
Oh
yeah, you got to watch it. It's scary as shit. I mean, it's Battlestar Galactica. I know I've said that a million times, but it really is coming true. Sorry, guys. For fuck's sake. That is it. We have headlined. Yay.
Yay.
Very nice.
Plugs? Plugs.
Plug it.
Okay, so and our unplug.
Oh yes, in the unplugged.
So I actually watched a bunch of stuff. Weirdly enough, I finally watched this show called Mike Judge Presents Tales from the Tour Bus, which is
Oh,
I've always wanted to see it. And basically, what it is the first season is about classic country western outlaws, and all these guys are worse than 10 rappers put together. Like they all shot people and did the most drugs, and like all this stuff.
uh-huh.
And they interview all these people that knew them, or if they're still alive, they interview those people, and then they animate it in
Oh,
the
sweet.
Mike Judge style, and it is utterly fascinating. And he also narrates it and is very Mike Judgy and very funny. So anyway, it's called Tales of the Tour Bus. I think it's on Cinemax, which is one of those services that I won't pay for, but you can find it other places. Just like Prime and stuff like that. The Fountain of Youth. What was that? It's been so long since I saw it. I can't remember what. Fountain of Youth. I watched a movie. Oh yeah. Okay, so it has like uh, it's like an Indiana Jones type thing that was on Apple Plus, where it had
Okay.
Krasinski
Oh yes,
and
Natalie Portman.
it's fine. It's not an unplug. It's fine.
Is it a soft plug?
It is. It's not even a plug. I just want to point out that I watched a movie instead of a television show for once, and
Good
they.
job.
It's like a cross between the Da Vinci Code and then Indiana Jones, but not as good as neither. And I've never seen the Da Vinci Code.
I'm never gonna watch it.
So yeah, don't.
Yeah.
But it's not an unplug, because if you want to kill like 2 hours of family friendly whatever, I know lots of people would like it probably. I just didn't really. It was fine. Sarah Silverman has a special called
Oh,
Postmortem.
that's on the list. Yeah.
It's
Is it good? It's
it's
pretty good.
it's good. I mean, it's less stand up y and more of like a one woman showy kind of thing, because she's talking
Okay.
about death and her parents dying and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty heavy, but it's funny and it's worth watching. Um, Man on the Inside. What the fuck was that? Okay. Man on the Inside.
I'm loving this.
Yeah.
I love that Tyson just wrote a bunch of shit down.
I
He's
can't
like,
fucking
wait.
remember. Okay. I know what Man on the Inside is. Okay. There's a show on Amazon, I believe. No, not Amazon. Sorry, Netflix. It's called Man on the Inside. It stars Ted Danson, and it's from the creators of The Good
Almost
Place.
snorted.
It's from,
Yeah.
anyway. It's about a guy who loses his wife, and he gets hired to go undercover at an old folks home, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
trying to
Okay.
solve the mystery of it. It's real cute. It's kind of a whodunity. It's emotionally packaged. It's no Good Place, but obviously, but it's gonna be a long time we see another one of those. Um, anyway, there's two records I was going to point out. I usually I listen to these records before the show, but there was a tornado, so I haven't listened to this yet. But I know I like it. It's from this band called Pacing, and it's called has a great title. It says real poetry is always about plants and birds and trees and the animals and milk and honey breathing in the pink, but real life is behind a screen. Is the name of the album, and she writes cute little songs about her daily foibles, and
Aw.
it's very cute and very
It's
fun.
called Pacing?
Pacing, yes.
Okay.
And I know I'll like it because her last record was just absolutely adorable. There was a song where she just sang the story of a tortilla chip from the back of a bag.
Oh,
It was
yes.
very,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm a big fan, and I've only heard a few songs from this record, but I feel good enough that I'm going to go ahead and uh, uh, recommend it. It's called a band called Foxwarren, and the name of the album is Two,
Okay.
and it's all over the place. Got cake vibes. I sent them both a video. It's a very weird video of dead, dead dance, deadhead dancing. I think something like that. Anyway, but it's kind of cakey. It's kind of indie. It's got interesting stuff. I really like it. Um, okay, and finally, this is my big plug for this week. So I was reading an article about. Do you guys know? You guys know who Jason Mantzoukas is, right?
Yes.
It is
Mhm.
almost impossible not to love Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah, he's great.
So anyway, there's this show that he's on in England called Taskmaster, and the first episode, series 19, um, the first episode is available to watch on um, YouTube for free. And
Oh, okay.
basically, it's really hard to explain, but it's kind of like being in an escape room with a comedian who can't get help from anyone else. And so, and they have these series of tasks that they're supposed to do. Sometimes they work together, sometimes they work apart. And they're kind of like brain teasers, but also kind of comedy forward. And Jason Mantzoukas is absolute animal in it. I mean, like he is unbelievable. It's one of the
He's
best
so
things
funny.
I've seen in
Yeah.
forever because he unleashes all his like manic energy on these tasks. Like I mean, he ends up, at one point he said, "I vowed to destroy this entire set." Because the set is actually a house outside and all this other stuff,
Uh-huh.
and so he is just leaning into it, and it's hosted by these two British guys. One guy comes up with the stuff, the other guy just kind of decides who did the best. Um, anyway, it's called Taskmaster Series 19. It is very funny, and the first episode is the worst of the 5 that they've released so far. So if you even kind of liked it, it gets better and better and better. So anyway, that was my plug, and I'll save my unplug for one more minute.
Excellent, Smith.
Very nice. Yeah, I didn't do an unplug this week. I'll think of something. I'll come up with something. Have a few actually. Something I think I pre-plugged this the last podcast, but a documentary I've been waiting several
Oh,
years.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
Pee Wee as himself on the Max or the HBO Max as it's now or
back.
soon to will be known. Two-part documentary. It's about a little over 3 hours, I think, total, and just exceptionally good. Like so good. If you're a fan of Paul Rubin, I have been a fan for years. My good friend Clayton and I just love those films to death, and just a really sweet story about the guy. And lots of stuff I didn't know. I mean, like he was a very private person. And so there wasn't a lot out there about him. Obviously he had some kind of high profile sort of incidents, which, were, made the headlines and all that, but aside from that, I don't think a lot of people knew much about him. And it's very good. Highly, highly recommend watching it. I'm going to watch it again. Kathy and I watched it the night that it came out. It came out on the 23rd, and I certainly want to watch it again. So anyway, good stuff there. Did see Sinners finally this weekend.
I got to get on that. Damn it.
in the theater. We got the Alamo full season pass thing, so we've been going to watch it.
Nice.
So we went to Sinners. I know it's been out for a little while, but really enjoyed it. Didn't know what to expect. If you can go in not knowing what to expect, it's a good kind of do that because like things change about halfway through, and I would say probably half the audience left before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No
I want to
shit.
say half the audience left because we were like, we don't rush.
Wow.
We know, right? We've seen Ferris Bueller. We know you give it an opportunity. There might be something behind here, and and it is like it's a good 7 to 10 minutes of content after the initial.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Do not leave until.
Yeah, and I'm sure a bunch of people did.
Everybody in my theater left. Everyone left.
Yeah, isn't that all? I mean, so for the true, it's a little reward for the true fans there. We're giving you the inside track here.
Yeah,
and,
stay until the very, very end.
Absolutely, yeah. And next one that we also saw there, something I think this is streaming now. It's been out for a while, but The Accountant 2. We both really enjoyed it. We liked the first.
I've heard it's pretty good. Yeah.
We both thought it was better than the original. I thought there was more story there, and so it's just good, dumb fun. But it's like it's good to see that these movies can still get made. I think that's just like I like that things like this still get made. A film that has not been well received, but we really enjoyed it. This also came out on the Max this weekend. Is Mountainhead. And it stars
No way.
Steve Carell, Jason Schwartzman.
That's my unplug this week.
I am not surprised. I really enjoyed it. It's not an amazing film, but if I were the third Siskel Ebert Smith, I would give it a thumbs up because I enjoyed it. Like it's about basically these billionaire tech bros who go out for a bros weekend on a mountain. And it's just, it's very satirical. I enjoyed it, but I could also see why.
I enjoyed the second half.
Yeah, okay. Like
It feels like two different movies, though.
a little bit, yeah. It is. Oh, it is very. It's a little slow. Like it's very
Yeah.
more kind of jokey and like you kind of. I don't know if it's because like I've known these people. Like I know people that talk like this, and like you know what
I
I
have
mean. Like
too. It felt like work. Like
yeah,
it really felt
yeah,
like
maybe.
work.
But anyway, so I'm not a strong plug, but if you're bored, I don't know, you probably won't like it. So I'm saying that as my plug is that you probably won't like it. Another one that we quickly watched last night. It's on Max currently. Netflix also has a documentary coming out
Oh,
soon
yes.
about this, but it's called Implosion, the Titanic sub
Oh, I saw
disaster.
that.
It's
Yeah.
exceptionally good. Like I
Is
did
it?
not
Okay.
know
Fuck. I
all of
gotta
what
watch that.
happened. Yeah, it's on the Max. We watched it late last night. It's really really good because
Sweet. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
like it is very interesting what they kind of conclude at the end, and it's I mean it's very sad, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's um, very very good, very very good. Just like I mean, this dude, it's the equivalent of him just building something in his backyard and like taking people down in it. Like it's crazy how reckless. And anyway, I won't say anymore. It's good stuff. And then I do have a musical. I know I've been kind of out of the loop. That
Oh shit.
I do listen to the same thing over and over and over again. That's why my top songs on Spotify are always the same. Anyway, Pulp, 3 weeks
Yes.
ago, released a new single. Their
Yep.
first in 23 years, and it is "Got to Have Love" is the name of the single. However, the B side, which I also prefer, is and I think the people do too, is "Spike Island." Really good too.
I love Spike
I
Island.
heard it
That
on
is a jam.
yeah, I heard
Yeah.
it on XM the other day, and I was like, "This sounds like Pulp." And sure,
Yep.
'cause they like I that did not because Jarvis Cocker did two or three solo records, I think, kind of in between after they, I don't know if they broke up or just took a hiatus. But anyway, I was like, holy shit. And I was like, yeah, new Pulp. So,
I'm
and
so excited about it. Yeah.
coming album soon. So,
It's always a hiatus when the bank accounts run a little dry. That's basically it. That's when it switches, you know.
oh, fair.
They call that the trust fund
Oh,
tour.
that's exactly
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't hate each other that much tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said I read that they recorded it in 3 weeks, which is by far the quickest they've ever recorded a record in their
Yeah.
entire career.
Oh shit. Yeah, just get it
So
out
they
there.
definitely
Yeah.
need some cash. Like
Yeah.
I'm
so
sure they probably do.
23
It's
years.
been a
It's a
minute
long time.
since
Yeah.
It's not like
yeah,
they
that
went
is
on
a long
tour after
time.
they broke up. They're,
No, that's true.
I gotta say though, Common People is like one of the best fucking songs
Oh,
like
yeah.
ever made. I love that. I listen to it like once a week. It's
Yeah.
great.
I got
I
into
prefer the
it late.
cover, but
I completely
I know, but the cover is pretty good too.
well, it's
Yeah.
been Folds and Shatner.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
All right.
That guy's all right.
Are you
Those
guys big
are
Pulp fans? Like big Pulp fans?
I like Pulp a lot.
I do too. Yeah, I got into them late. Like I didn't know them kind of in the '90s
Yeah.
kind of start, but I got them into like early 2000s, and I was like, holy shit! Like,
Their first record came out in '95, and I had my little record label that I was still running. Not my
yeah,
record label, my little radio station I was still running, on the side. And
Mm-hmm.
they sent me the first record, which I didn't get into because it was not what I was listening to at the time. But they also sent a little promotional paperback, and I looked it up. It's like going for like $400, like on eBay. And
Oh no shit.
yeah, because they only made like a handful of them, and they
oh
just sent
wow,
them out to radio stations. And basically, I'll have to show it to you next week. It's really interesting, but um, I don't know. Maybe you guys want to
I
arm wrestle for it, and you can have it.
I would arm wrestle.
Because
I heard Pulp from Great Expectations soundtrack back in the 90s.
okay.
That Like a Friend song.
oh yeah,
I love it. It was great.
good tune, good tune.
Sorry, gentlemen. I just realized I have a hard stop coming up in 4 minutes.
It's all right.
So I'm gonna run through my plugs real quick. Okay, so soft plug. There's a new true crime documentary on Netflix called "A Deadly American Marriage."
Oh, we watched
Smith, have
that.
you seen that?
Yeah, we did.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I would agree with you. Soft plug. Yeah,
soft plug. It's fine. If you're looking for something to watch while you're working late at night and it's kind of fucked up, you should give it a go. Jury's still out. I think she killed him. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. But you guys watch it and maybe write us something on the socials about what you thought.
there you go.
I don't know. I feel like there's so many of the same story of man takes in a nanny, she marries him, he ends up dead, she goes after the kids. It's one of those sort of things, but slightly interesting. There's a new movie on all the platforms called The Luckiest Man in America. Have you guys
Good film.
seen
Yep.
this?
Yep.
Great film. I liked it a lot. It's about an unemployed ice cream truck driver who steps onto the game show Press Your
Oh
Luck.
yeah.
It's a dramatization of it, but it's really good. It's really well done. It's like a really good indie flick, I feel like. And Walton Goggins is in it. And he plays the host. So check it out. There is a band that I just found out about called Cake Like that Tyson already knew about, and I'm sure Smith too.
I did not know.
That
New info.
Yeah, it's not new info, but I saw, I don't know, some music video on TikTok and I saw Carrie Kenny in it from the state. And I was like, what the shit is this? I had no idea this existed. And anyway, blew my mind. So I've been listening to Cake Like a lot and highly recommend that to people. And then I didn't really talk about it. I don't really want to talk about it yet, but I've been in Austin, Texas for the last week or so. My mother-in-law passed away and we're all pretty upset about it, but she unfortunately got a cancer diagnosis, God, a year and a half ago, and she's just been suffering since then. So, she's at peace, but I went back to Austin, had to go through the airport and went to some old haunts that if you're ever in the airport, you should definitely check out. Taco Deli for one, get the Doña sauce. And then if you want a great iced latte, go to Joe's Coffee. I used to check out those places almost every other day. So anyway, it was kind of a weird trip down memory lane. And that's it. Oh, also it's Pride Month. So happy Pride, everyone.
Yes.
Happy Pride.
Yeah. And then unplugs.
I'll go first. My unplug is cancer, but not for the reason you think. It's because it couldn't take out Scott Schwab. That's not a very good plug to happen after Dawson's story.
I'm not gonna.
God,
I'm not gonna top that. So let's just let's just go on to Mountain Head and leave with a bad
I don't even know what to say. Yes, I didn't like Mountain Head because it just reminded me of a bunch of fucking assholes I've worked with in the past. But I did enjoy the last half. So yeah. Anyway, unplug.
You could probably
Soft
the movie.
Really?
I would say give it a go. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't like me. Or you'll like it like Smith, and it was enjoyable. That is it.
All right.
I feel bad about my unplug now after your story. Anyway,
I laughed. I didn't. You should have
okay.
Right.
Well, we will be back. You're off on the road, and then we'll see you next week.
I'll be back on Sunday, so we'll be back next week.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, have fun on
All
your
right,
trip.
guys. Always a pleasure. I'm very excited about it.
Very good.
Golden Girls weekend. Here I come.
All right, you guys.
Pool, cocktails, brunches, pool again.
This is going to be
seltzers.
This is going to be kind of a difficult one.
I'm so nervous. I get nervous now.
Me too.